The tension in the room shifted the moment Gervonta Tank Davis stepped forward. This wasn't part of the plan. This wasn't scheduled. The Shakur Stevenson vs. Teofimo Lopez press conference had already been simmering with rivalry. But when Tank crashed the moment, the atmosphere hardened instantly. His presence wasn't playful or promotional. It was confrontational, deliberate, and heavy with intent. Tank didn't come to smile for cameras. He came to unsettle, to dominate the narrative, and to deliver a message that landed like a warning shot fired before the war even began. Tank's words cut straight through the room. He questioned Shakur's resume, challenged his credibility, and dismissed the idea that defense alone could carry someone to greatness in boxing. In his eyes, Shakur hadn't done enough, hadn't proven enough, and hadn't faced the kind of danger that truly defines champions. This wasn't trash talk meant to sell tickets. It was psychological pressure, applied publicly, designed to crawl into Shakur's head long before the opening bell ever rings. Tank predicted the fight would end violently and quickly, forecasting a brutal knockout within 4 rounds. Whether exaggeration or genuine belief, the intent was clear. He wanted Shakur thinking about danger instead of preparation. Shakur Stevenson, never one to back away from confrontation, responded with sharp confidence of his own. His words were cold, calculated, and dismissive. He labeled Teofimo Lopez a clown, mocked his seriousness, and suggested that whatever Lopez believed he had prepared would not be enough. Shakur spoke like a man who had already solved the puzzle in his mind. He claimed to have studied Lopez, figured him out, and reduced him to a predictable opponent who would crumble under precision and control. Every insult wasn't just personal. It was strategic, designed to provoke mistakes, to disrupt focus, and to pull Lopez out of discipline and into emotion. But this rivalry didn't exist in a vacuum. Tank's involvement added another layer, one rooted in history. He spoke about sparring with Teofimo Lopez years ago, about watching him grow from a young fighter into a hardened competitor shaped by elite gyms, brutal rounds, and relentless pressure. According to Tank, Lopez wasn't built by hype. He was forged by experience, long drives, heavy weights, sparring wars, and years of preparation that most fans never see. This wasn't a man who learned boxing in isolation. He learned it in the fire, surrounded by fighters, pushed by expectations, and sharpened by struggle. Teofimo Lopez Sr. reinforced that narrative with quiet intensity. He didn't shout, he didn't posture, he dissected. He questioned the level of Shakur's opposition and whether Stevenson had ever truly been forced into deep waters. Talent, he argued, means nothing until it's tested by elite pressure. His words weren't reckless. They were precise, aimed at stripping away comfort and replacing it with doubt. This was about mental warfare, about dragging Shakur into uncertainty and forcing him to confront questions he may not have had to answer before. As the verbal exchanges escalated, comparisons and legacies entered the conversation. Eddie Hearn framed the fight not as a momentary clash, but as a historical opportunity. Teofimo Lopez wasn't just defending pride or rankings. He was chasing greatness, attempting to join a list of fighters whose names echo through boxing history. Becoming a 4-division world champion is not an achievement measured in hype. It is measured in time, sacrifice, and legacy. The weight of that ambition hung over the room, transforming January 31st from a date into a moment of consequence. Analysts and fighters alike weighed in, each adding texture to the narrative. Timothy Bradley warned that Shakur Stevenson was stepping into real danger. Lopez's athleticism, speed, and explosive power would test every layer of Shakur's defense and stamina. There would be no cruising, no easy rounds, no room for mental lapses. This was a fight that demanded full commitment from the opening seconds to the final bell. Terence Crawford offered a different perspective, describing Shakur as a true student of boxing, a fighter who absorbs lessons, adapts quickly, and refines his craft continuously. According to Crawford, Shakur's intelligence in the ring separates him from many of his peers. He isn't just reacting, he's processing, learning, and adjusting in real time. That adaptability, paired with sharp instincts and technical mastery, makes him one of the most difficult fighters to read or control. Rolando Romero echoed that sentiment, highlighting Shakur's boxing IQ and composure. He emphasized that Stevenson doesn't waste movement or punches. Everything has purpose. Every step, every counter, every exchange is calculated. Against Lopez, that intelligence could neutralize aggression, turning pressure into opportunity. This wouldn't be a fight decided by chaos alone. It would be decided by who could impose their rhythm and maintain discipline when the pressure peaked. Yet, doubt lingered on both sides. Teddy Atlas framed the matchup as a high-level chess match rather than a guaranteed spectacle. Two elite fighters with contrasting styles, each capable of brilliance or hesitation. For casual fans, it might not immediately explode into chaos. For true boxing purists, it promised a masterclass in skill, timing, and strategy. Every feint, every adjustment, every decision would matter. Amir Khan added another layer by focusing on adversity. Lopez, when pushed, becomes dangerous. He has faced elite competition before, adapting mid-fight and responding under pressure. Shakur, while technically brilliant, hasn't yet been dragged into the kind of sustained warfare that forces fighters to reveal their deepest reserves. This fight, Khan suggested, would test not just skill, but resilience and mental toughness. Others pointed to Lopez's vulnerabilities. Moments of lost focus, lapses in composure, and the scars of past defeats linger in the background. Against a technician like Shakur, impatience could be punished severely. Rushing exchanges without precision would invite counters and frustration. The fight could swing on discipline as much as power. The personal history between the fighters added emotional weight. They weren't strangers. They grew up in the same amateur circuits, shared gyms, tournaments, and ambitions. They watched each other rise. Now, they stood across from one another as professionals, forced to confront years of shared history inside the ring. That familiarity brought both confidence and pressure. Knowing an opponent too well can be as dangerous as not knowing them at all. Observers also focused on physical details that often decide elite fights: movement, legs, and conditioning. Against someone like Shakur, whose style depends on angles and control, any decline in mobility could be disastrous. Lopez's ability to close distance, apply pressure, and maintain balance would be under constant examination. One slip, one hesitation, one tired moment could shift the momentum permanently. As fight night approached, confidence hardened into certainty on both sides. Shakur declared himself elite, insisting Lopez was talented but not on his level. Lopez acknowledged Shakur's movement and skill while promising to impose his power and dictate the fight. Neither man blinked, neither softened their stance. By the time the dust settled from the press conferences, the narrative was clear. This wasn't just about belts or rankings. It was about identity, about proving who truly belongs at the top of the sport. January 31st wasn't just another date on the boxing calendar. It was a collision of styles, histories, ambitions, and egos that would leave lasting consequences no matter the outcome. When the bell rings, there will be no room for excuses. No microphones, no words, only fists, footwork, and resolve. Shakur Stevenson's precision and intelligence will meet Teofimo Lopez's power and ambition in a contest that promises to define careers and reshape the lightweight division. One will rise, one will be forced to confront reality, and the boxing world will be watching every second. Now, it's your turn. Who do you believe takes control when the pressure is highest? Does Shakur's boxing IQ neutralize Lopez's aggression, or does Lopez's power and experience overwhelm the technician? Drop your prediction in the comments. Let us know how you see this fight playing out. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe,